Hey guys, it's your girl Jay with your Not-so-midday report. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Alright? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into it. I'm gonna tell a little story, and I know you're gonna be like, oh gosh, here she go with this story about the same subject again, but it works. So sometimes, we get up for work and we don't want to get up for work. So we hit the snooze button 30 different times. And then we finally get up and we see how close it is for us to get to work. We pick up the phone and we call our boss and we're like, hey, I'm gonna be a little late this morning. It's traffic. And your boss will respond, okay, it's fine. Just get to work safely. You do know, right, that that's like the oldest lie in the book. And 9 times out of 10, your boss knows that you're lying. So instead of just being honest, like, hey, listen, I overslept. I was really, really tired this morning. And yeah, it was just one of those days. You not only one try to deceive and manipulate the situation to gain an understanding that you really don't deserve. You start to break trust, right? And then it's like everything you say is now starting to be side-eyed, right? So sometimes it's okay to be honest because you don't know what you're doing with that relationship in the end. So I'm going to come from Acts 5 about the story about Ananias and Sapphira. And if you know the story, bear with me. And if you don't know it, listen. I'm going to read part of it to you, okay? But there was a certain man named Ananias who, with his wife Sapphira, sold some property. He brought part of the money to the apostles, claiming it was the full amount. With his wife's consent, he kept the rest. Then Peter said, Ananias, why have you let Satan fill your heart? You lied to the Holy Spirit, and you kept some of the money for yourself. The property was yours to sell or not sell, as you wished. And after selling it, the money was also yours to give away. How could you do a thing like this? You weren't lying to us, but God. As soon as Ananias heard these words, he fell to the floor and died. Everyone who heard about it was terrified, and then some young men got up, wrapped him in a sheet, and took him out and buried him. About 3 hours later, his wife came in. Not knowing what had happened, Peter asked her, was the price you and your husband received for your land? Yes, she replied, that was the price. And Peter said, how could the two of you even think of conspiring to test the Spirit of the Lord? Like this. The young men who buried your husband are just outside the door, and they will carry you out too. Instantly, she fell to the floor and died. When the young men came in and saw that she was dead, they carried her out and buried her beside her husband. Great fear gripped the entire church and everyone else who heard everyone else who heard what had happened. It wasn't about the money, right? Because Peter said, like, it was yours to keep. You could sell it, you could keep the land, you keep the money, you keep part of the money, the money was to do what you wish. It was the fact that you lied, right? And in this instance, this lie cost them their life, right? They died. It was carried out, right? When you lie to people, especially unnecessarily, you may not die in that moment, but you can kill the relationship, right? That deceit, that manipulation, that lie, that little thing that you do to make it look like it's not as bad as it is, but I want to make it look good, can make it bad. And you can really deteriorate a relationship to the point of no return. So the next time you think I'm telling a little lie or telling a lie to make yourself look better than what it is, how about try doing what you were gonna lie about so you don't have to lie about it, or just telling the truth, right? I know sometimes being honest and transparent or naked to whatever it is that you've done or you're doing, good or bad, like, it might be a little uncomfortable, but at least you know you survive it at the end. So with that being said, it's your girl Jay with your Not So Midday Report. See you tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.